So what is for you personally? What is like the main? Is there like not even main issue, but what are your like main reasons in the primary for supporting Hillary over Bernie? Just that what is it that makes you think that she's a better? Is it? I mean, you said pragmatism a bit earlier on. What is it for you?
I really, despite all of her challenges and all of her issues, part of me wants this historical moment, honestly.
Yeah.
And I want this. There are a lot of other women who could be better first women presidents, but I think there's a whole lot more women who could be horrible first women presidents. And giving that title to Hillary Clinton is, I think, okay. And it's going to happen one of these days, and I think I'd rather have it. Again, it's another one of those. I'd rather have Hillary wear that mantle than
Carly Fiorina or Sarah Palin type of thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So there's a lot of calculus that goes into me swaying to Hillary Clinton, and I do think that. I think she has a lot of good intentions. I think she has a lot of devils on her shoulder, and I think she needs to straighten some things out as well. But
no, I think there are definitely some Bernie supporters who there are horrible supporters of every single candidate. Like there are awful Bernie supporters, there are awful Hillary supporters, and that's why I'm actually happy to have like an actual, a good we should be able to have this type of conversation. It's not, we shouldn't have to like, be awful. But like, I mean, I do think it's very legitimate to say that, you know what, the glass ceiling should have been broken a long, long time ago. I think that is something that's definitely valid, and it's insane and ridiculous that it hasn't yet. What bothers me for me personally, again, like right now in 2016, where the country is so divided, we're on this sort of like precipice of, we're either going to go really far right wing and like really like, where this 30% of the crazy ass racist Trump fans, I mean, they're not going away anytime soon. They're like the new reality of Republicans are like embracing their racism and sexism and letting their racist flag fly. We're really going to have a battle of ideology of what's going to happen. And I think an actual left-wing person as a counteract to the far right is more important right now when it comes, again, to things like, again, income inequality, when it comes to, the big thing is like, for me, is like climate change. Like that's like one of my, because I want humanity to survive. And, frankly, Hillary has some pretty bad ties to dirty energy. And so like when I look at like who would be better on income inequality, who would be better on climate, it's for me almost hands down for Bernie. And so when and if those are sort of like, especially for climate, because without breathable air and water, we're all going to die, and there's going to be wars over water. When it comes to that, those are kind of, for me, my kind of top two issues. And so to me, that's pretty clear between Clinton and Bernie. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, sometimes I do have to admit that my support of Hillary Clinton is illogical, just based on my own personal beliefs. Because, I also think that the support of the GOP by a vast majority of low-income people in this country is even more illogical. Yeah. Because they'd rather take a bad job that pays them nothing than to fight for real jobs, more green jobs that will be here for the next 100 years, as opposed to another coal mine that will probably be empty in the next 10, 20 years. Those sorts of things. So there's there's not a lot of logic in these decisions lately. It's a lot of passion, unfortunately. And so, there's a lot, as I say, she is not even close to perfect. But I also try to, and maybe this is where my pessimism comes in, is that when I think about Bernie in the White House having to deal with the horribly gerrymandered Congress that we have right now, absolutely, I mean, it might turn, nothing would be done. I mean, look at we're in Illinois, and we still don't have a budget.
Yeah.
And it's January because the Democrats in the Assembly and the Republican in the governor's mansion are playing chicken with everybody's lives. And it's getting really bad out here. I can definitely see that happening on a national scale with Paul Ryan versus Bernie Sanders.
I want to say one thing, and then I want to get to that. So the first thing, actually, about Republicans and like, you know, low wage, poor Republicans voting against their economic self-interest, that's absolutely true, and that's illogical. But I would actually argue that the sort of mainstream Democratic Party that's their fault, actually. You know, that they have not given an actual, they haven't given a good enough reason for poor people to really understand, and that actually has to do with a lot of like center-right Democrats embracing right-wing policies. So it's like, instead of having a policy that really makes it better for poor people, you have, you know, the center-right, the blue dogs embracing tax cuts and embracing cuts for infrastructure and go on attacking teachers, et cetera, et cetera. But so, I mean, a lot of that actually has to fall on, I think, in my opinion, just the Democratic Party itself, you know? But,
yeah, definitely. I mean, I've never been much fans of any of the blue dogs.
Yeah.
And anytime they try to show some sort of progressive streak, I'm usually the kind of the skeptic who is, and my friends who are like, but they've done blah, 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 blah. So I totally agree with you.
Yeah.
As I said, you know, there's just so much. Both parties have definitely been able to get people to vote against their economic self-interests for a really long time by playing lots of different games.
Yeah. But to your second point on dealing with Republicans, do you think it's going to be, I mean, I don't know, do you see it being different between Hillary Clinton and Bernie? I mean, like, the Republicans have not passed anything for Obama at all. I don't think anything's getting done. And I think any person who thinks that something good is going to come out of, okay, so maybe the Democrats retake the Senate by a seat, but they're not retaking the House unless something crazy happens, right? So there is, like, I don't know, I don't want a Democratic president to sign a right-wing bill. I can't even conceive something that's going to be good coming out of Paul Ryan's Congress that I want to be like, yeah, I want Bernie or Hillary signing that bill. You know, I think sort of like, honestly, I think whoever it is, and Bernie's actually already doing this. Like, so Bernie's whole thing is like, I can't do this alone. I need the people marching in the streets, which is, again, as someone who loves activists and as an activist, I like that rhetoric. But like, his whole thing is, I think whoever is president, that they're like, pretty much from day one, they need to be on the bully pulpit saying, you need to get me the House of Representatives, people. We need to do this now. I can't get these things done. And I don't know if I necessarily see Hillary doing that. Maybe she would, and that would be awesome if she did. But, you know, it's just like nothing's going to come through. And so pretty much what you have to look at between the two is, what can they do as an executive? What can they do from the bully pulpit? And there's a lot that they can do from both of those places. Like, there is actually a lot of presidential power. I think Bernie would be further progressive in those realms too. What are your thoughts on that?
I think you make a great point that he would definitely use his bully pulpit.
Have I changed your vote?
Not yet.
Yeah.